The Brady Bunch became one of the most treasured and beloved shows in history, thanks to its family-friendly, wholesome content that the whole family could enjoy together. If you tuned in to watch the blended family of 8 live in their large 2-story house, then you may have even felt a hinge of envy. So, you will be happy to know that behind the Brady's perfect white picket fence, things weren't always as perfect in reality as they were in their on-screen version. After the show came to an end in 1974, the show's secrets were finally revealed. Here are huge secrets that you probably don't know about the Brady Bunch. Mike hid his sexuality. Robert Reed, known for his role as Mike Brady, kept his homosexuality hidden for most of his life and struggled deeply with his identity. According to Susan Olsen, who portrayed his on-screen daughter Cindy, the need to conceal this aspect of himself took a toll on his well-being. "I can also say that being gay killed him," she wrote in a social media post. Because it was so stigmatized, he could never fully accept himself. He never allowed himself to experience genuine love. He was constantly tormented by his own self-disapproval of his natural inclinations. Bob was devoted to his family. If he had been able to openly love another man, he would have been an exceptional husband and might still be alive today. In 1992, Reed, who was HIV positive, passed away from cancer at the age of 59. Marsha struggled with a drug addiction. Maureen McCormick, known for her role as Marsha Brady, faced significant challenges in Hollywood and turned to cocaine to cope with a troubling family revelation. In her memoir, here's the story. Surviving Marsha Brady and Finding My True Voice, McCormick revealed that she was deeply affected upon learning that her grandmother had passed away from syphilis in a mental institution and that her mother had contracted the disease while in the womb. While McCormick's mother received treatment and didn't transmit the illness to her children, the shocking discovery exacerbated her anxiety and depression. McCormick wrote, "I sought solace in the seemingly glamorous cocaine scenes above Hollywood. I thought I would find answers there, but in reality I was only running further away from myself. From there, I spiraled downward into self-destructive behavior that cost me my career and nearly my life." McCormick's addiction became so severe that she engaged in risky behavior, even exchanging sexual favors with a cocaine dealer for more drugs. Her health and career began to suffer. She would stay awake for days, attending important meetings while under the influence. This lifestyle caused her to miss out on significant opportunities, including a potential role in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Recalling one meeting with Steven Spielberg, where she was high, McCormick admitted, "If there was cocaine, I had to consume every last bit, even if it meant going without sleep for days. Nothing else mattered." Marsha dated her on-screen brother, Greg. Barry Williams, known as Greg Brady, also developed close relationships with some of his castmates, though some might argue they were a bit too close. During filming in Hawaii, Williams began a romantic relationship with his on-screen sister. The pair sneaked out after curfew for a moonlit walk on the beach, as detailed by Maureen McCormick, who played Marsha Brady, in her memoir, Here's the Story, Surviving Marsha Brady and Finding My True Voice. As it turns out, dating your on-screen brother, even if you're not related, can still be pretty strange. "We couldn't hold back any longer," McCormick wrote. "It was our first kiss, and it was long, passionate, and deep. It was wonderful, too, though as we continued to kiss and press against each other so closely that we could feel each other's body heat. A part of me, a tiny part, admittedly, said to myself, 'Oh my God, I'm kissing my brother, what am I doing?' That must have been at least a little uncomfortable for the two of them." Bobby developed alcoholism in his 20s. Like many of his peers from the Brady Bunch, Mike Lookinland, who portrayed the youngest Brady brother, faced his own struggles in Hollywood. Trying to reclaim a lost childhood in his 20s led him down a path of alcoholism. Reflecting on this period in an interview with Oprah, he admitted, "The problem for me was, I lived my childhood in my 20s. You should really try to live your childhood when you're a child, Because if you do it when you're 26, it can be dangerous. Realizing he was on a dangerous path, Lookinland eventually got sober, understanding that his choices were about life or death. After 2 decades in film production, he chose to step away from the industry entirely. Today, he lives a peaceful life with his family, focusing on perfecting the craft of making concrete countertops. He shared, when it became clear that the choice wasn't between sobering up or drinking, but the choice was actually between living or dying, then it became a simple choice for me. In real life, Marsha suffered from choices stemming from her addiction. Maureen McCormick's drug use led to risky behavior, resulting in her having 3 abortions by the age of 21, which was particularly risky and taboo at the time. In her memoir, she reflected, "I was 18, 19, and 20 when I had each abortion. It shows how careless I was. It shows what drugs did to me and how far I went." The pressures of Hollywood didn't just contribute to McCormick's drug issues. They also led her to develop bulimia as she struggled to maintain the perfect figure expected of her character. McCormick's battle with bulimia was kept hidden and unspoken, reflecting the taboo nature of eating disorders before Karen Carpenter's death in 1983 brought more awareness to the issue. She suffered in silence, dealing with these challenges behind closed doors. Peter and Jan were caught on a date by the cops. It wasn't just Marsha and Greg who sparked controversy with their on-screen relationships on the Brady Bunch. The younger siblings had their own share of drama. Peter, played by Christopher Knight, developed a strong fondness for his on-screen younger sister Cindy, portrayed by Susan Olsen. This affection continued until Eve Plum, who played Jan, started to mature as a teenager. Olsen even jokingly mentioned in an interview that Plum stole Knight's attention away from her. The situation escalated when Knight decided to take Plum out in his pickup truck, equipped with candles, a 6-pack, and blankets in the flatbed. They parked under the stars, intending to enjoy a romantic evening together. However, their plans were abruptly cut short when they were interrupted by the police, who promptly ended their clandestine rendezvous. Greg was a teenage smoker. Greg Brady was renowned for his pristine image on screen, embodying the quintessential good kid who eventually succumbed to peer pressure by trying a single scandalous cigarette. However, Barry Williams, the actor behind Greg Brady, led a starkly different life off-screen. In reality, Williams had been smoking since he was just 12 years old, and not just tobacco. Like many teenagers in the 1970s, he experimented with marijuana, much to the chagrin of the show's producers. There was one notable occasion when Williams showed up to set under the influence, which caused significant disruptions. The incident occurred during the filming of the episode Law and Disorder. Williams had thought he had the day off, but was unexpectedly called to the Paramount lot. Arriving high and visibly affected, the 17-year-old actor struggled to contain his laughter, evident to keen-eyed viewers in certain scenes of the episode. The disruption was serious enough that the script had to be adjusted to minimize his involvement. Cindy's hair fell out in chunks. After it was bleached for almost every episode, hair played a crucial role on the Brady Bunch, where the aesthetic relied heavily on the perfectly matched trio of dark-haired boys and blonde girls. For Mike Lookinland, who played Bobby Brady, this meant dyeing his natural strawberry blonde hair dark brown to fit the show's image. Susan Olsen, who portrayed Cindy, faced a different challenge despite being a natural blonde. She was deemed not blonde enough for the role, leading to constant bleaching of her hair. This rigorous treatment took a toll, reportedly causing Olsen's hair to fall out in clumps at just 8 years old. Cindy grew cannabis later in life. While Susan Olsen never personally experimented with drugs, later in life she found herself involved in a rather unconventional activity, growing marijuana. Alongside her husband, Olsen cultivated cannabis hydroponically, a venture that was illegal in California at the time. When questioned about her role in this endeavor during an interview with Australian News, Olsen acknowledged her involvement, admitting to being more of a cannabis grower than a user herself. She explained that while she didn't enjoy smoking marijuana due to its tendency to make her paranoid, the cultivation process intrigued her, aligning with her passion for gardening. However, Olsen also noted that their illegal cultivation became a point of contention in her marriage, ultimately contributing to her decision to part ways with her husband. Tiger was run over by a car during filming and replaced with an untrained rescue. The smallest Brady, Tiger the dog, met a tragic fate during the first season of filming when he was struck by a car. Struggling with what to do next, the distraught dog trainer made an impromptu visit to an animal shelter on the way to the set and brought back a look-alike for Tiger. However, this replacement dog proved to be untrained and difficult to work with. Producers even resorted to nailing his collar to the ground to keep him in place during filming. Eventually, the show decided to limit the dog's appearances to only essential plot points. Despite this, Tiger's doghouse remained a fixture on set. Marsha used to shoplift. Susan Olsen, known for her role as Cindy on the Brady Bunch, revealed some intriguing details about her co-star Maureen McCormick, who played her older sister Marsha on the show. Olsen disclosed that McCormick had a habit of shoplifting while they weren't filming on set. When caught, McCormick would reportedly shift the blame onto Olsen, who sometimes accompanied her on these outings. Alice died in a tragic accident. Ann B. Davis, renowned for her role as Alice, the Brady family's witty housekeeper, brought her seasoned humor to the Brady Bunch. Prior to joining the show, Davis had amassed an impressive resume with 4 Emmy nominations and 2 wins, solidifying her status as both beloved and talented. However, in 2014, tragedy struck when Davis, at the age of 88, suffered a fatal accident. She fell and struck her head in the bathtub, resulting in a subdural hematoma. Davis never regained consciousness and passed away shortly thereafter, leaving behind a legacy of laughter and fond memories. Peter felt exploited as a kid. Christopher Knight, known for his role as Peter Brady, faced significant challenges both during and after the Brady Bunch. In a candid interview years after the show concluded, Knight revealed that his parents harbored a disdain for television and effectively used him to generate income for the family. He expressed his feelings, saying, "I'm feeling totally prostituted at that point by my mom. I think in a way I totally was, and by her own admission it was, and that she was sorry about it." Despite these difficulties, Knight leveraged his fame by starring in the reality television series My Fair Brady, which aired until 2008. He has also continued his acting career, appearing in various movies, scripted shows, and soap operas in bit parts and supporting roles. Rumors of an affair between Greg and Carol. Although rumors swirled about Florence Henderson and Barry Williams having an affair during their time on the Brady Bunch, the reality was far less scandalous. Henderson, a 36-year-old married mother of 4 at the time, and Williams, just 16, did go out to dinner once, which fueled speculation. Williams addressed the situation in his memoir, Growing Up Brady, acknowledging the influence of hormones during his teenage years. He clarified, "It wasn't that I sought to better, I just wanted to spend time with her." Henderson also downplayed the incident, describing it as a platonic outing from her perspective. "That whole thing with Barry got blown way out of proportion," she explained. "I guess in a sense it was a date because Barry thought it was. But of course I had no idea that his intentions were to date me. It has made for a good story, though." Williams was high while filming once. During the era of the Brady Bunch, drugs were prevalent, and like many teenagers, Barry Williams didn't shy away from experimenting. However, he recalled a particular instance when he showed up to work high on marijuana, specifically during the filming of the episode Law and Disorder. The show producers called in the middle of this high to go into work, Williams candidly admitted during a Brady Bunch convention talk in 2014. Reflecting on the experience, he remarked, "I'm a much better actor when I am completely sober than when I'm high." The reason Mike Brady wasn't in the final episode, before stepping into the role of patriarch Mike Brady on The Brady Bunch, Robert Reed had already established himself as a serious actor. He had a background in Shakespearean theater, having studied at the esteemed Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts in London. Reed's career also spanned Broadway, and he was a respected member of the Actors Studio, alongside luminaries such as Robert De Niro and Jack Nicholson. Despite his illustrious background, Reed's attitude toward The Brady Bunch was notably critical. Shortly before his death, he expressed his dissatisfaction to People magazine, stating, "It was just as inconsequential as it can be. To the degree that it serves as a babysitter, I'm glad we did it, but I do not want it on my tombstone." Reed's discontent with the show was evident when he declined to appear in what would become the series finale. The episode featured a storyline where Greg accidentally dyed his hair green, prompting Reed to voice his objections. Series creator Sherwood Schwartz recalled Reed's reaction, saying, "Bob Reed called and said, 'Outlandish story, unbelievable, ridiculous, and I won't do the show.'" Despite not participating in the episode, Reed remained on set during filming, though he made no effort to conceal his dissatisfaction. Barry Williams, in his memoir, recounted Reed's presence, noting, "He did, however, hang around the set while the episode was being shot, grumbling about its idiocy." Searching for the perfect children. Casting characters for a TV show is always a daunting task, especially when thousands of actors audition for roles. Sherwood Schwartz, the producer and creator of The Brady Bunch, faced this challenge head-on. His goal was to find actors who not only resembled each other since they would portray siblings on screen, but also possessed the stamina to handle long hours on set. Schwartz conducted a rigorous audition process, reviewing over 464 boys and girls. Beyond physical resemblance, he sought children who could maintain focus and professionalism amidst the demands of filming. During auditions, he tested their ability to concentrate by placing toys on his desk, observing how they reacted. Through this meticulous selection process, Schwartz identified the ideal candidates to portray the Brady children. The D word. During the decade The Brady Bunch was filmed, certain words and topics were highly taboo, with divorce ranking among the most controversial, deemed worse than even the F or S swear words. Due to network restrictions, Sherwood Schwartz, the show's creator, was prohibited from portraying Carol as a divorced woman. To navigate this restriction, Schwartz opted to leave Carol's marital status ambiguous, implying she was a widow, akin to Mike, whose deceased wife was mentioned in passing. Despite his discontent with the network's stance, Schwartz chose not to address Carol's late husband throughout the series, reflecting the societal sensitivities of the time. Many widowed parents. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, several TV shows focused on single parents, often widowed. The Brady Bunch followed suit but pushed the concept to an extreme, drawing criticism for its portrayal. The premise of each parent having 3 children, one all boys and the other all girls, seemed exaggerated from the start. The show went further by portraying an almost immediate acceptance and lack of typical family conflicts among the newly blended members. Despite initial ambivalence from the children, once they all lived together, any potential conflicts quickly dissipated, and the family seemingly lived harmoniously thereafter. Another aspect seen as excessive was the immediate adoption of calling both Carol and Mike Mom and Dad by all the children right from the beginning, which diverged from typical blended family dynamics. Dad of the Year. Despite Robert Reed's contentious relationship with Sherwood Schwartz, his acting prowess shone brightly in his paternal role on screen. His talent earned him recognition as the 14th greatest TV dad of all time by TV Guide in 2004. Ranked ahead of him on the list were iconic TV dads such as Cliff Huxtable from The Cosby Show, Howard Cunningham from Happy Days, and Steve Douglas from My Three Sons. Against the odds. Despite Florence Henderson's performance as Carol, a multifaceted and uber-talented woman who seems to keep the family functioning smoothly while keeping up with her own hobbies and work, her background is, you could say, rather different. Henderson comes from a very poor family and was the youngest of 10 children. Fortunately for her, she had a headstrong mother who, despite all odds and the battle with an alcoholic husband, managed to give her children as good a life as possible and encourage them to be successful. Florence often credited her professional success to her mother. Where's Dad? Barry's drama didn't end with his drug involvement. Recently, his ex-girlfriend came forward claiming that Williams owed her child support of $12,000 a month. Hopefully, for Barry, he managed to save some of that money he made from his years of playing Greg, turning over a new leaf. Unlike Florence Henderson's cheerful portrayal of Carol Brady on screen, her off-screen life was marked by challenges. Battling depression and navigating a difficult marriage with her ex-husband, Ira Bernstein, Henderson faced personal struggles behind the scenes. Following their divorce, she found happiness in her second marriage to a hypnotherapist. Throughout her career, Florence Henderson remained active well into her late 70s, making numerous television appearances and leaving a lasting impact on the entertainment industry. Her passing at the age of 82 marked the end of an era for those who knew her, including her Brady Bunch co-stars. In the wake of her death, several Brady Bunch actors shared their reflections on social media. Eve Plum, who played Jan Brady, fondly remembered Henderson as a role model. She emphasized how Henderson's professionalism and dedication to her craft served as an example to the younger cast members, not an immediate success. Initially, the Brady Bunch struggled to find its audience, despite its eventual iconic status as one of America's beloved sitcoms. When it debuted, the show faced disappointing ratings, leading to renewals for just 13 episodes at a time. Throughout its 5-year run, it never cracked the top 30 in Nielsen ratings. However, the show's true success came in later years through reruns, particularly during after-school hours, where it found a dedicated fan base among children. Sherwood Schwartz, the show's director, attributed its eventual iconic status to its relatability among younger viewers. Despite its modest beginnings, the Brady Bunch captured the hearts of a new generation and solidified its place in television history. Low pay. Due to the show's low ratings, the actors' salaries were nowhere near the $1 million per episode paychecks of stars nowadays, like on The Big Bang Theory. Not only was their pay low, but apparently they even had to pay to park their cars on the ABC lot while filming. Talk about cheap ABC. In retrospect, The Brady Bunch stands as a testament to the enduring power of family-centric storytelling on television. Despite its humble beginnings and initial lukewarm reception, the show's charm and relatability eventually propelled it to cultural icon status, resonating deeply with generations of viewers. From its wholesome values to its iconic theme song, the Brady family continues to hold a special place in the hearts of many. Did you have a favorite Brady Bunch episode or character? Comment below and share your memories. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating insights into the secrets you never knew about the Brady Bunch.